Hello, Aquarius. Welcome to your astronumerology reading for the month of October. And we're going to pull a lesson card for you. And this time I'm going to hold them up to you, block the camera, and then picky, 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 picky. What is this one? Loneliness. I know that I am never alone, Aquarius. Understand that you are always guided. You are never by yourself. You have all of the resources of this universe and your ancestors and the angels with you. You have worked to build a tribe, so there are people that can assist you. You never walk alone. So, loneliness is temporary. The feeling of loneliness is temporary, but you're not alone. Okay. And you are loved. Remember that. So this month is the first month because October is 1 plus 0 is 1. So this is the one energy. And in the calendar year, you have 9 months. And then you have the first month, the second month, and the third month again, which means that the themes that you started with are the themes that you end with. So although one is change, it is a type of freedom because you're in a new direction, and sometimes it is going in a direction that you have chosen to go into. But one can be a lonely number. And I think that might be what you feel because Aquarius likes to have a tribe of people, likes to take everyone with them on the journey, likes for everyone to be successful. And this month, you may have to realize that the success that you seek and desire has to be one that is a solo journey. And perhaps later, others can join you on the journey, but now is not the time. Okay. So, one also requires us to go within and not be stubborn, not just come across as an arrogant individual, or Mr. Know It All or Mrs. Know It All. In order to be a good leader, you have to be a good servant. So the one energy also requires you to find ways to make life better for others. You can lead them through serving them. Okay. So let's get into the astrology portion of it. Since October is the first month and the 10th month, so 10 and 1 are the houses in the astrological signs that are going to be impacted more than others. For you, the first house in Aquarius rising has Aquarius sitting in it. The first sign, Aries, is actually in your third house of communication, of siblings, of writing, of music, right? And so right now, we're going to know for you, it's going to be your first and third houses that are going to have some type of energy. Everyone is having the first and the 10th house, which for you is Scorpio. Scorpio is a little bit of a known for its sexual energy. It's sharp energy, the dangerous energy. And then you're also going to have your 10th house be impacted, and your 10th house is actually sitting in Pisces. So 10th house is the Capricorn energy of work, and it is sitting in Pisces, which is institutions, which is not necessarily ideal places. That could be prisons, hospitals, doctor's offices, some type of institution. So there's work in that area, manual labor, hard labor, or diligent type labor in that area. So for you this month, the houses that you're going to focus on, which you can focus on any house at any given time, but these might have more of a cause to have a focus. So it's going to be your first house, Aquarius, your third house with Aries, and your 10th house with Scorpio, and your 12th house with Pisces. Okay. I'm sorry, your 12th house with Capricorn, excuse me, but it sits in Pisces, right? Pisces to 12th house. Okay. So as we look at the energies, I will call out if any of those houses have a particular hit during a particular time, which means you have to give more energy to it. And remember, the first house is typically your body, wherever you incarnate. So that can be your body or your house. The third house is communication, is siblings, is dreams that you bring to reality. And then the 10th house is your career, is government, is things that like sometimes it's a different type of property, not your home, but like real estate and the investment properties and things of that nature. And then the 12th house, which is a spiritual undertaking, I like to look at it as such, but Pisces is also about endings. And so that's also dealing with sleep and dealing with thinking about the afterlife. And it is a spiritual transformative type energy as well. So there's a lot of people think of Pisces and think of woo woo, that house of woo woo. Well, it can also be a house of imprisonment, and sometimes the things that connect you to that house. So if it's a job that's not paying you enough money, but you have to keep going because you need the money. So it's also about things that hold you in prison as well. Okay. So then let's look at the energies. So remember to keep those houses in mind. Let's see, let me make sure I write them for you so I can put it in the title. So you will remember, you will know what houses to focus on. Okay. So starting out, since this is October 8th that this is being made, there's a lot of energy in the first house, yourself. And the energy is the Venus energy, and it is almost out of there, but it is also the K2 energy. And Venus and K2 have been rocking together for a while. But Venus is about love, and this is a need for self love. So K2 reveals secrets. And so perhaps you're not as confident in the amount of love that you have for yourself. You're seeking love from others, yet you neglect giving it to yourself. And so you have to focus on giving yourself the love and doing things that allow you to love yourself and feel good about how you present yourself each and every day. You cannot receive love until you have love. Okay. So that's one of the things that's showing up. And then because of that lack of self-love, your seventh house is actually being impacted, and therefore you're not able to achieve love. It's like you're having contact with people, but it's not the contact that is sustainable at this point. So in your case, the seventh house is directly impacted in the first part of it. So because of your desire. Now, there's another thing. The sun is looking into your first house, and with the sun looking into your first house, the sun actually enhances Venus a little bit, which Venus is almost out of your first house. But it says that this is time for you to look in the mirror, and it may give you an inspiration of sorts as to what you could do to love yourself more and make yourself more appealing towards others. Next, Jupiter is also having a little hint of energy that is thrown to your first house, which means you may have been having some weight fluctuations and some limitations with your ability to control your weight, but you might be in a situation now to burn off some of that excess weight. Okay. By the same token, with houses that I said, you also have in your house of communication a lot of energy, lot of details. So it looks like you're making a lot of plans, doing a lot of communicating, but some of that communication is coming across in a way that it can't be received because it's a little hurtful, a little impetuous, a little bit of, I know what I'm talking about. And that is that arrogant side of things that pushes some people away. So you have to balance what you're communicating and the information that you're communicating with love. And I see that in the beginning, you are not doing that. So this is a call to action to go back and reel yourself in and express some love to people. Okay. Your 10th house is starting out with a very grounding type energy. Nothing spectacular there, is status quo. So you're just working, whatever work you're doing, you're just doing that. The 12th house looks like you are concerned about home things. So you're concerned about being tied to a home. You may feel like you need to expand and go other places, but life is not allowing you to expand right now. And that may be causing a little bit of stress, a little bit of lower feelings, right? If you're able, a small trip might help you alleviate some of those feelings. So let's go forward a little bit. And just like that, Venus leaves your first house and goes into your 12th house, and the sun is shining bright in your first house. So definitely more that energy um, that we're looking for, right? We're looking for some energy to be able to have your body be more of a temple that you would like for it to be. You are going to have some opportunities in your career sector starting later on after the eighth. Expansion in your career sector. So maybe another job, another something else that is going to be able to allow you to earn more money. You may even have the opportunity to travel. You're going to need to meditate a little bit so that you can improve your discernment because you have discernment, you know how things could work, but then it's skewed a little bit by some of your habits, right? And some of your habits are causing your ability to be an innovator to be reduced. So, whatever those habits are. You are concerned about a mother figure's health, um, and you are concerned because you have old ideals, meaning traditional values for a relationship, and you are feeling that you may not achieve those, that you may end up alone because you may not find a partner that could help you live out a life using those values. Um, and you could work to find someone to help you achieve the life that you desire to achieve, but it starts first with the self. As we move forward, yeah, as we move forward, Venus, as Venus does, comes right back into your first house. And as it comes back into your first house, it's coming into your first house with the sun. And the sun and the Venus get along really, really well, but it is also bringing about a little bit of Virgo energy. And Virgo ruled by Mercury. So you then have that Mercury energy, which is a young kind of, I think I'm a youthful kind of energy. But the sun says, I need to have some action going. Venus says, I want to go play and have a good time. So this is a good time for you to move your body, but it also might be a time for you to be involved in some musical things, some artistic endeavor that requires you to go and kind of move your physical body to a location, travel to whatever that venue, that event is. But you have to be careful because that Mars and Mercury energy that is happening throughout the world is right there by you. And so it is literally to the west of you. So you have to be careful where you're traveling because that energy means you could be in the line of fire with all of this activity that's going on in the month of October, whatever in my general reading. So be careful where you're traveling to, although you're traveling to expand your ability to do this creative pursuit, you could be traveling to an area that's dangerous. Okay. That's where you're going to have to use your discernment to, if it feels off, it's a no. Okay. You may have someone from your past show back up and let you know that they're interested in you from a relationship standpoint. Okay. Moving forward, third house looks like there's some action and communication in the third house. You could be a little bit manipulative in your communication. So I caution you to be truthful and don't skew the truth to where it makes you look better. And you could present yourself as having a lot of business skills, but you might be missing some key business skills. So when you're talking with people, if you're going to go to something to where you have to communicate about business, maybe you should do a little bit of research before you go interact with the individual so that you would be prepared and you would be able to speak appropriately to whatever the thing is that you're interacting with them about. Another thing is that um, be careful of like places where there's like toilets or sewers, or there could be some type of poisonous situation. So there could be like a sewage overflow or something like that, a waste overflow. So watch where you're going because, of course, that could cause you to have some kind of health issue. And sometimes there's things in the air that could impact your throat and your ability to speak appropriately during this time. So watch out for that. Let's go forward. You will have more dealings in your career sector with a female mother figure and a male. Looks like a female and male both will help you in your career. But again, this is going to call require, excuse me, require you to actually have a plan, require you to actually uh, write out some things. Also, watch out for asthma in the middle of October. This could be if you're outside somewhere, your asthma, if you have asthma in the past, or you could have exercise induced asthma, it may be triggered this time. Watch out for that. The other, if you do not get enough movement, you can see your stomach getting bigger. Okay. As we continue on moving forward, your energy stays pretty much flat, meaning pretty much the same until we go about the 16th. And in the 16th, that's when in your actual fifth house, that's when the Aquarius energy, your natal energy, returns to that area, the fifth house. And at that point, you're going to have some information come to light through technology, through something that's some kind of innovation. It's going to be revealed, but it's not going to be something that you can capitalize on. See, that's the thing is that it is, you may be part of helping with something and yet you don't get the credit for it. Okay. So be careful with that. The other area around that same time, these 16, 15, 16, 17, somewhere in that energy, you will see a few changes in your 12th house, which the 12th house historically is the Pisces, but in this case, it has like some Virgo energy in it on that particular day, um, which is ruled by Mercury, which brings the Mercury and that Venus right back together, um, which that's like a brother and sister kind of energy getting together. So liking to play and being business oriented in one sense, but they may be business oriented in a artsy kind of business. So you might have some things come to a conclusion or a contract signing or a final information about something that is dealing with an artistic business that you need to deal with during that time. Check the contracts for that because, or if you don't have a contract, get a contract for that. Because something's going to come to light about that adventure during that time, 15, 16, 17. So someone may not have shared all the information they need to share with you, or the contract may not be favorable, or the pay may not be favorable, something to that effect. Continuing on, and around the 18th, you can have some um, joint issues. So could be some, not just that, it could be flat feet, um, something with a genetic disorder that could show up around the 18th. Something could be with your lymph glands, but it's more inflammatory, it looks like. So some type of pain in your joints, your feet, ankles, any of those kind of areas. More than likely the feet, but it could also be the ankles. Your balance particular could be thrown off because of it. Looks like there's another expansion type energy with your job happening around the 20th, or your career, a new energy starting. So maybe a new direction around the 19th, 20th, 21st. Your home is stable at that point, your actual physical home, but your body is not. There's a lot of activity happening with your body um, around the 21st, 22nd, 23rd. So you have the whole situation. You have the mother and the father with the children in your first house. that could be the energy of inherited disorders from both parents, mother and father, that's coming and showing up in your body. So check with your siblings and see what they have going on, and check with your relatives, your mom and dad, and see what they have going on, and see what might be impacting you. Something is kind of a little bit out of balance, and it could be tied to something from your mother and father, some 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 genetic thing from them. Moving on, you definitely have a need to move your body. And if you having lymphatic issues, movement really does help the body. Um, the rest of your energy is remaining pretty flat, meaning there's nothing really new happening, except for the moon and Mercury getting together in Scorpio around the 25th. So that's not necessarily a good energy, because and it's not based on whether or not Mars likes the moon or Mercury likes the moon, but these are different aspects of energy. Mars is a fiery type energy, moon is a watery type energy, and likes to calm, chill, relax. Mars likes to go do these things. And then you got Mercury, who is easily influenced at times by the moon and Mars on different levels, because Mercury sometimes will listen to the moon, the mother, but then get together with Mars, the big uncle, the big brother, and go out and party. So this means conflicts pulled in two different directions. Every once in a while, everybody could line up, but at this point, it might be difference in opinion, difference in which way to go in your how you earn money, right? So that's what the second house is how you earn money. So that's the last part. So maybe somebody wants you to go do a job with them that's going to pay you X amount of money, but you would rather do your own business or something else, or you'd rather go work with someone else, or you've already said that you would go work with someone and you have to make some changes um, at that time. Finish out the month. Your intelligence will come from the influence of a mother figure, meaning that a mother figure will serve as a guru for you the last portion of the month. So you can have a conversation with that mother figure and gain some insights into your life and perhaps the things that are going on in your body, because this is definitely a time for things going on in your body, and also your actual career. Your mother figure guru, someone with more knowledge than you. Is you're seeking out information from a person who knows more than you, and it just so happens they have a feminine energy. You need some more balance at home as well. You might need a little bit more feminine energy at home, because there's a lot of masculine energy around your home. At the end of the month, you might need to have a little bit extra femininity there, especially if you want to attract that. If you want to attract masculine energy, then you can go with more masculine. But if you want feminine, you need to add more feminine things to attract feminine energy. Someone may end up being hospitalized for something at the end of the month. Could be you, could be a mother, could be a brother, could be someone in your family be hospitalized at the end of the month, around about the 30th. So remember my 3-day rule. So that could be the 29th, 30th, 31st. In this case, because of the timing, it could even be November 1st. Remember loneliness. I know that I am never alone. Don't be arrogant. Take care of your body. Seek out a guru. Seek out someone who can assist you and have the best month that you can have. All right, Aquarius, that's it for you. Leave me a comment. Let me know what resonates so I can know if I need to continue doing this for you guys. Take care.